Good afternoon. It's Jenny Gee coming to you on a Friday, and I will tell you I'm a little late, but it's December, whatever it is, 22nd, so I guess that's why I'm late. Kind of a busy time of year here. Anyway, I'm coming to you from my dad's backyard, actually, and I want to talk to you about another plant that we associate with Christmas. So we talked about mistletoe last week. Not remembering what we talked about the week before, but it had something to do with Christmas season. So today what I want to talk to you about is holly. It's such a common plant that is brought into our house. Wreaths are made out of it. Little holly sprigs are put into vases for centerpieces, and it's just really lovely. And you can imagine, and I came to my dad's house because he has a couple holly bushes in his backyard. So I'll show those. Here they are. And you can even see he doesn't have a lot of berries this year, but he does have here and there. As I'm standing like down in the yard looking, I'm finding a few more little berries on them. So hollies are pretty interesting. One, if we think about, what the rest of nature is looking like right now, they really do stand out with their dark green, shiny leaves that are evergreen. And the red berries, when there's just all this kind of gray and brown in our landscape, to have these evergreen type trees, they stand out to us, and they have been meaningful to people through history. So what is it about holly? And there's a lot of folklore around holly, and one of the reasons that we bring it into our house, and it has been brought in for centuries and centuries and centuries, is because it was understood to ward off evil spirits. So you bring in this life into your home in the deep dark winter, and it would keep you safe. And in some cultures, it actually was brought in like kind of a big swath of it, and that would keep the good fairies safe and have a place to hide out in your home and keep them away from you, but keep them in your home and keep the good luck that they would bring in your home. So that's the folklore behind it. But there's a lot of really kind of cool things about the wood itself. It's not anything that they typically make furniture out of, or tool handles or anything like that, because it's pretty soft, but they will use small bits of it for inlays, because it's a real beautiful kind of white, light yellow color that is nice to use, nice to have as part of a tabletop or woodworking piece. Anyway, the berries, this is where it gets, to me, I think, pretty interesting. And this is where I decided that, yes, I think we should talk about this when we talk about God's creativity and nature. The berries are toxic. Don't eat holly berries. They have cardiac type chemicals inside of them that will affect your heart. So don't eat the berries. They're even, at this point in time in the year, pretty toxic to birds and animals that might want to find nourishment in the fruit of the landscape. So they kind of shy away from eating them right now. But as the winter goes on and we have our cycle of freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing, those chemicals do start to break down. And then the birds, I don't know how, but they somehow know that it's okay at that time of year for them to start eating them. They still have some of that bad stuff in them, some of that cardiac type chemicals. And so they don't eat a whole bunch. They'll eat a handful, they'll eat 3, 4, or 5 little berries, and then go off and find food elsewhere. And then as those pass through their system, they get dropped over there. But then they'll come back to the holly bush and they'll eat 3, 4, or 5 little berries later on, and then they'll go over in that direction to eat more and have that pass through their system and leave their droppings behind with the seed of the holly bush. So the holly has this way of not having everything wasted in one area, not having everything eaten at once. It doles out its fruit to those birds a little bit at a time, and the birds leave them in various spots as they go. And I just think that that's kind of a cool development for this tree, for this shrub, whereas others are maybe a little bit, kind of all get left in the same spot. So kind of neat. Now, one of the interesting things about holly is that the one I showed you, this bigger shrub, is the female, because the female is the only one that gets berries at all, and we can see that there's a couple. And then, and in the case of his yard, the male, you have to have both, because the pollen needs to come from the male to the female in order to make the berry. You have no berries on the male, so berries on the female, no berries on the male, and you have to have both within an area close to each other so that they can pollinate. And that's kind of an unusual thing in and of itself, to have this dioecious situation where you have what they call two homes. So the home of the male tree and the female tree. Kind of cool. So it's bad luck to cut down a holly tree, according to ancient tradition, and because it is, I don't know, wards off evil spirits, I guess, is what they keep saying in all of this folklore that I was looking at. But it's a beautiful landscape hedge to have, and to enjoy and to watch and to bring into your home at this time of year, to have a little bit of that greenery in life. And so enjoy it, enjoy the holly, and enjoy your weekend and all of the decorations that you have in your house right now, just reminding you a little bit of that life and that warmth and the light that we are going to be celebrating Sunday. So I hope you can join us at church at some point in time, 10:30 a.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m., join us for Christmas Eve, and we will have a wonderful time celebrating this holy season. See ya.